I'm going to bring up the work order here. And this is a list of all of the work orders. Okay, these are all open work orders. And the workflow, we have open work orders, and then we have completed work orders. So once an open work order is you can mark it as completed, and it'll show up in the completed column. And then we also can, after it's completed, the fleet manager can go into each one and review it, make sure everything is okay, and then the fleet manager can go in and mark it as closed, and it'll log the date that it was closed, and then you click OK, and notice it's removed from the completed, and then it's put over into the closed list here. Okay. And if I want to create a new work order, I just come down here, just like adding a vehicle. It's very easy. Just come down here, hit the Add button, and I would specify the vehicle code that I want to do the work on. So if I select vehicle 1 here, it's going to tell me I already have an open work order for this vehicle, and if I want to add to that, I can, or if I just want to create a new one, it will ask me to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I want to open a new work order. And then I would type in the current meter on that vehicle. And if I want to track hours, I can actually enter the hour meter as well. I can then specify this particular vehicle is under warranty. So it's also going to, it does warranty tracking on the vehicle. It also does warranty tracking on the actual parts purchases as well. This one is on the warranty, and if I click on it, it'll tell me when the warranty expires. Okay, this one expires in 2/21, 36,000. It looks like the mileage is probably expired, but it is under the yearly warranty. And then if it's performed in-house, you would then select the technician that you're going to assign this work order to. If it's done by an outside vendor, like say if you had to send it to the dealer, you can also record an outside vendor and then select the vendor that's going to perform the work. In this case, we're going to just use the technician, and so we'll select the technician. Now notice these buttons pop up here. So if there were no PMs due, this would be grayed out, just like the fault codes. And also we have this reported problems button that's red. So that means we have not only PMs due, but we have reported problems due. So this is kind of like a neat warning. So if I click on PMs due, it's going to show me all the PMs that need to be performed. So I can highlight one, and I can just highlight it and add it directly to the work order. And I don't have to do all of them. I can just pick and choose which ones I want to use. So I'm just going to check that one. If I want to select another one, I can add another one to the work order. I'll just add 2 here for now. And I'll leave these here, and I'll hit close, and you'll see that it'll put those 2 on the work order, and then I can go in and begin work on it. I can click the timer. If the technicians are actually entering this information, say they have a kiosk at their computer, they can actually go in here and start a timer for that work that they're performing, and they just click here, and the timer will start, and then they can go perform the work. And then once they're completed, they can go in and just hit the stop button, and then it will log that time for that particular work. It'll ask you if you want to add the service time, and then it'll add that time to that work. I'm just going to hit no here. If you do it manually, say that there's someone in the shop, maybe you print out the work order, and the mechanics will write down the time that they worked, and then you update it later. You can do that as well. You can just double-click here on the actual service, and then just put in the actual time that it took. Say it took a half hour, and it will log that. You can also have a standard hours. This is when you set up a service code. You would type in how long it should take to perform that service, and you can do a comparison of how long it takes. Now, I'm logged in as manager, so I have access to that standard hours. A regular technician would not have access to change that, or you can actually hide it if you want to do that. You can do that as well. You can also put unlimited notes here on that service if the mechanics or the technicians want to add anything there. We also have a documents tab here. When you set up a service code, you can also attach a PDF document or a picture, and then the technicians can actually view those. Click on it, and it'll bring up a picture or a schematic or instructions on how to perform that service. Reported problems are also here. So if there's a problem that a driver reported, I can click on this, and here's the left front blinker is not working. So I could add that also to the work order. And when I do that, it's also going to remove that from the reminders list. So the reminders list is only going to show the things that we've done. Once we complete it, it's going to kind of be removed. I'm just going to leave that there. And to charge our parts, very easy. You just come down over here and hit the add button. And if I have a barcode scanner, here's where I would scan the part. So I would take the part out of the bin and bring it over. And then when I want to use it, I would just scan it, and it would bring the barcode up and automatically fill it. Every time I scan it, it'll increase the quantity by 1. I don't have a scanner with me right now, but I'm going to go and select this bulb here. Actually, I don't have any on hand. I'll do the alternator, and we'll put an alternator on there. And here's it's telling me I have 20 alternators on hand, and I've got 1 to charge out. And I just simply click OK. Now, I got a warning here. I wanted to show you this. This means that particular alternator, I put it on a year ago. So actually, I put it on back on August 30th, 2017, and it's within the mileage warranty here. So I had 633,000 miles. It's got a 100,000-mile warranty. So it's telling me that this is a potential warranty claim. So it's just kind of giving me a warning that this may be under warranty. So it's within the mileage warranty here. So I'm going to click OK. I know that's under warranty, so I could possibly go and get credit for that particular part. So it does not only vehicle warranty, but it also does parts replacement warranty, and that's how that works. So once I'm done with that work order, I could add another part if I want. I would scan it again or whatever. I could click another part here and add it, or if I'm done, I can just hit cancel, and I'm going to then mark this as completed. So it's completed. It's going to log the date and the time that it was completed, and then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I can print this work order out if I want by highlighting it and clicking print. And then this is this would be your organization name, and here's the vehicle and the VIN number and the odometer readings and everything. And then here are this particular, actually, this wasn't the right work order that I just did. Let's see, I got to go to open tab, and here it is. Let me print that one out. Okay, so here's that vehicle and year, make, and model. Here's the information. And then here are the items that we have on that particular work order. Okay. Also, if we want to email that work order, I can also email that work order. And when I do that, it'll create a PDF of that work order, which I can then just send to the customer. I can just go and send that to the customer. I'm looking here. I actually marked that as completed. This was the actual work order that I was working on, so let me print that one out. Here we go. So this was the work order that I did with the mileage and everything, and then here are those items that I printed out here. So this is the one I put in, and we did that one too, and then here's that alternator that I added, and it'll total it and give you a total price for that item. So what's really nice now, the fleet manager can then mark, since it's completed, the fleet manager can go in here and then review these. So I'm going to go and review that one, and then I can mark it as closed. The technicians won't be able, they only can, based on their user ID, they would only be able to open it and mark it as completed. Only the fleet manager can mark it as closed. And when I do that, you'll see that it now puts it over into the closed column right here. And so now that work order is closed. So I'm going to go to my vehicle 001-R, and let's see if we can quickly go in, and if I highlight it there, and if I go into service and parts, okay, you'll see here are those 2 items that I added. Okay, it took me a 1 hour and a half hour to do that work. And if I want to use the parts used here, here's that alternator that I put on the vehicle. All right? So everything happens in the background. The PMs also get updated. So on my PM schedule, the ones that I did here, you notice they're not the oil change and the fluid change. Those get updated automatically. Here's the date that I performed it, and here's the date that I performed this other coolant change, as you see. And notice it automatically scheduled the next one out. So it does that. This one is 3 years out, the coolant change here. So it's forecasting it out that it's due on 2020 9/17, and then the odometer reading we have as 50,000. So it's going to forecast that out at 762. Here's our current meter. Okay, so that's basically how the PMs work and how the also the work orders and also being able to view that service and parts history very, very quickly without having to print a report. You have very quick and easy access to that.